What is good, YouTube? It's your boy ChicoFilo here, man, back with a new video. And as you guys can see, we finally have content from NBA 2K25 Community Day. Big shout out to 2K and huge thanks to them once again for inviting me over. I had a phenomenal experience. If you guys want to check out my vlog from Community Day, I will put the link in the description, so feel free to check that out. But anyway, I want to get straight into it. There is a lot to talk about gameplay wise. I'm going to focus mainly on dribbling, shooting, and also talk a little bit about finishing, defense, as well as some of the new modes and features. And also keep in mind that in this video I can only show you guys clips from quick play, my team, and the new triple threat park mode, and also another new feature called Learn 2K, which is essentially a tutorial that ranges from basic to advanced tutorials that will help you become a better 2K player. But without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. There will be a lot more 2K25 content on the way, so make sure you guys keep posted for that. Anyway, first things first is the dribbling. Honestly, the dribbling feels very smooth for the most part. However, the speed boosting initially felt a little bit slow, but do keep in mind it could also just be because of the restrictions of the dribble animations that we could use. I remember at the start of 24, a lot of people said that the dribbling felt sluggish, felt slow, but then after everybody figured out which animations to use and got their badges, it turned out that dribbling wasn't even as slow as we thought it was, and speed boosting became a lot easier. But anyway, after messing around with the dribbling on 2K25 for a bit, I found out that there were definitely different moves that gave better speed boost than others. For example, if you were just trying to speed boost off one dribble move, it wouldn't really give you that much of a speed boost, and it wasn't really quite effective. But then when you actually combine like two dribble moves, for example, when you like double flicked, when you flick your right analog stick one way and then back the other way, it would give you a much better speed boost than just trying to speed boost off one move. I know this sounds very confusing right now, but once you get your hands in the game, you will know exactly what I mean. But essentially, all I'm saying is that the speed boost that you get from chaining two dribble moves together is much more effective than just trying to speed boost off one single dribble move. Moving on though, the same explosive behind the back that was hella overpowered on 2K24, like the Jamal Murray one, is gone. There wasn't really anybody that was able to figure out how to do an explosive behind the back similar to the Jamal Murray behind the back, and in all honesty, I think this is a very good thing. That move was very overpowered. It made getting open very easy, and we definitely wanted to see that get changed in 2K25, and I can comfortably tell you guys that this is definitely the case. But anyway, since we're speaking of behind the backs, there are actually some really nice behind the back moves that you can combo up. This behind the back that Scoot Henderson has was very smooth, and it actually looks really nice if you put them together. And this behind the back combo that I'm doing right now isn't actually as easy as it looks. And while I'm doing this, I'm not actually just flicking my right stick diagonally to the left and to the right like repeatedly. For you to chain this behind the back together, I'm actually doing this by double flicking, which I mentioned earlier. So I'm not just doing one dribble move after one dribble move. Like before, I can flick it from the right to the left. I'm actually having to do two dribble moves to the right and then two dribble moves that lead to the behind the back on the left side. If you just attempted one single behind the back and then tried to do it behind the back right away to the opposite side, it doesn't just work like that. The only way to do these consecutive behind the backs is by double flicking, and basically what you're doing is you're throwing in another dribble move before the behind the back, and you're doing that on each side. Once again, this must sound very confusing, but trust me, just remember what I say, and then once you get your hands in the game, you will know exactly what I mean by that. Another dribble move that is still very effective, however, is the snatchback, and the snatchback is still achieved in the same way by holding R2 and flicking the right analog stick down. I was actually trying to combo up with the snatchback with a bunch of different players, and here are just some of the animations that you can get. And as you guys can see, from the most part, it is a very effective way of trying to get open. And in all honesty, I think that the snatchback in 2K25 feels a little bit better than 24. It feels like you can definitely mix in a lot more combos and chain more dribble moves with the snatchback, because I don't know if you guys remember, in 24, if you actually attempted to snatchback like twice, it would automatically just give you like a behind the back animation after the initial snatchback. But in 25, you'd actually find that when you chain the snatchback together, like if you did it back to back, it would give you like a really cool animation, like almost like a size up. And once again, I found that this was very effective in creating space. Moving on though, for those of you guys that used the fat stop in 2K24, this move has completely been taken away in 2K25. For those of you guys that don't know what the fat stop is, it was a very simple but effective move in 2K24, used to quickly stop or slow down and also grab your defender behind you. But yeah, every time you attempt the fat stop, it just doesn't let you. And this was me right here in this clip trying to attempt it repeatedly, and it just wouldn't give me any animation similar to it at all. But of course, there might be a completely new way to do it, and that is still yet to be discovered. Another change worth noting is that the aggressive dribble down the court that you can do in 24 has now been changed, so you can only do this in the back court. Also in 24, this was achieved by double tapping R2, but now in 2K25, all you have to do is hold R2 and flick your right stick up once. I think that this is a great change because in 24 this move was abused way too much, especially by the bigger builds like centers who would actually move faster than guards when doing this in the front court. So now that this move can only be achieved in the back court, this should be a lot more balanced. I mean, you can still actually do this move right before you cross half court, and as you can see right here, it still carries a lot of that speed and momentum towards the front court anyway. So I'm sure it still will be effective in getting to the front court, say if you were trying to quickly get to the rim, if your defender is allowing you to. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about the shooting a little bit. As you guys can see right here, we still have the same shot timing visual cues. We've got jump, set point, push, and release. And we also have this new setting right here called shot timing profile. As you guys can see right here, there's 5 different options, but real player percentage won't be in any of the online modes. If you guys want to know more about these settings, you can go check it out in 2K's courtside report. I'm not really going to spend too much time explaining these, so let us move on. Shooting on 2K25 for the most part feels great. The shot animations are very smooth, and I wouldn't really say that there have been major changes to the shooting. I mean, obviously we do have a new shot meter, as you guys can see right there. Instead of having a bar, you now have an arrow. All you have to do is wait for the arrow to fill in that little space up the very top. That tells you when you should be releasing your shot, and although I'm probably not going to use this meter in 2K25 once I start playing Park, I honestly really liked it. It feels much different from just filling up a bar, and it felt really satisfying greening these shots this way. There are also 2 really cool new shooting features though that we can talk about. The first one I'm sure you guys have already heard of, and it's called rhythm shooting. And as you guys can see right there in the bottom left corner, all you have to do to trigger rhythm shooting is that you move and hold your right stick straight down, then you move and hold it up to match the speed of the jump shot as the shooter releases the ball, and you will know right away if the shot that you took is a rhythm shot because it will give you 2 different releases. Like this, for example, it says very early and very fast because I released it too early, and I also moved my right stick up way too quickly. I'm not gonna lie, at first this was very confusing to figure out, but after repeatedly attempting it, I managed to figure it out. It's kind of just one of those things you just have to keep doing until you figure it out, and once you get it down, it is fairly easy and actually quite fun to do. The next new shooting feature that we have is called the Goto Shot. This one is a lot more simple. All you have to do is you move and hold your right stick straight up without R2, and then you release it as the ball is shot. So every player will have their own go-to shot, and this is actually really cool because this is obviously modeled after the player themselves, and a lot of players obviously have their own unique go-to shots that they do, and I'm sure some will be a lot more effective than others, but this is what Jason Tatum's one looks like. And I also tried it out a little bit with Trae Young. As you can see, 2 very different go-to shots, and this will just be another additional shooting animation that you can have in your bag. And who knows, if you manage to master your go-to shots timing, this will obviously be very beneficial. Moving on to finishing. Honestly, finishing also feels great. Not too many big changes. You've still got a variety of contact layups that you can do similarly to how 2K24 was. However, the dunk meter is now the arrow instead of the bar. Not sure as of now if this will be a setting that you can change. I've got a feeling that it might be. But anyway, I found that the dunk/layup meter is still very effective. And in most cases, if you're going to be finishing on or around a defender, you are probably better off using the dunk or layup meter than just pressing square. While we're at it though, this is LeBron with his finishing take as well. As you can see, I am easily just able to bully my defenders. There is no chance that they're stopping this. I'm literally just holding R2 and pressing square, forcing my way into the paint. Speaking of the takeover though, it does look a little bit different. Like the colors, the ring, and the whole design of the takeover is slightly different from previous 2Ks. Moving on to defense. Honestly, defense felt really great on 2K25. It felt very responsive, not only in quick play where there's no delay, even in the triple threat my team mode where we actually played online, defense felt very responsive. There wasn't much delay, especially in your lateral movement, which I thought was a big issue in 2K24. Who knows though if this will be different once we start playing Park and once there's obviously a lot of people in the server. But for the most part, from what we played in Community Day, the defense felt really good. The bump animations are great and not too crazy like how 24 was, where defenders could literally just ragdoll the guard. In 2K25, you will get rewarded defensively as long as you can manage to stay in front of your defender. But at the same time, I found that if you just found yourself at the wrong position, even just for like half a second, you can definitely get punished. For example, right here, I was only out of position for a slight second, and although it looks like I recovered to get a contest, he still makes the bucket right over me. My overall initial thoughts on the gameplay of 2K25 so far from what I've been able to play, I think it's great. Everything feels smooth. There are definitely some significant differences with 2K25 and 2K24. Like, I feel like there's actually going to be a lot that we have to learn this year. fingers crossed, 2K25 will be a good year and a fun game for all of us. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. We've got a whole lot more 2K25 content on the way, starting with all the build videos that I've got lined up that I can't wait to share with you guys. I am very, very excited to share the builder with you guys for 2K25. And yeah, I appreciate all of you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.